Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Gabriel. I'm starting this channel to journal my trading throughout the year of 2026, and I'm gonna share with you some rules and thoughts I have on my trades basically. I will try to do it daily, but sometimes there's no trades to be taken, and I do have a full-time job, so I'm gonna try to do my best to post as much as possible. So for this first video, I will start with some rules that I have for myself and for my trading. Some of them are very basic and obvious, but I think it's very important to state them. Some others are more personal and they apply only for me. So if you have different rules, please let me know. I might add them to my playbook because uh, making this tighter as possible is the way to go and be consistent. So let's start with my trading sessions, right? So here we can see that I'm gonna take maximum 2 trades per day, being in 2 different sessions, what I call them. So this ensure me that I trade with different market conditions and that I won't over trade and do stupid trades that shouldn't be there. So here, for example, I have my markings when my trade should be taking place on the session, you see? So my aim here is only to take trades that will be happening in between these time frames over here. Ideally, during these more specific time frames here, that's the conditions I know better, and it's when I can place trades. And I'm more familiar with these conditions. I like the volume they present, the volatility they have. So, for example, I won't be placing trades at New York Open or at market economical news because then I don't like it. It's too much for me. So after defining my time frames that I'm gonna trade that are always during these hours of the day over here, I'm allowed to place only 1 trade per session, making sure I do not overtrade or revenge trade and do things that can go really bad. And the only instrument I'm gonna trade is gold futures because it has a very constant volume, right? If you're trading indices, for example, the Nasdaq or the S&P, during London session, they have very low volume. So all the volume basically comes through New York, and I don't really like to trade New York opening. So just after London opening and just before New York open, it's when I really think the moves that I like to trade they take place in. So some more rules here more related to my setup. I will aim to trade only my AOIs, areas of interest. So over here, let's say that on Monday, during my time frames, it comes to one of my AOIs and the price action and structure follows as I wish, then I will take the trade here and in the right time. That's going to be around 9:30 a.m. Here you cannot see, but it's going to be around here. So yeah, I need my confirmation triggers that I can share with you in another video because this video is only to highlight my rules and not get into much details on my trades itself. We're gonna get there at some point, but not now. So after I have my confirmation, I'm gonna set my take profit and stop loss, and they need to be aligned with the time frame I'm looking at. If at the time I'm wishing to trade the price just goes through, Nothing I can do, not gonna trade that. It's not very smart. And here for my executions management, here is the set and forget that I think is the best for especially managing your emotions. So once everything goes alright and your setups line up for your entry, you just place your OCO orders, one cancel the other, enter your trade, enter your trade, and you walk away. You did everything you should have done before, you did your analysis, your setup's correct, so you just have to follow your plan, right? So throughout this is gonna avoid that throughout the trade I adjust my stops or move my take profit or exit too soon. So that's it. It's very plain. You're just gonna enter, set stop loss, set take profit, and let it run. You don't have to think about it anymore. So the stop loss and take profit, I'm gonna get a little bit of detail to you guys now. So let's say here I'm gonna have a move that I expect that's gonna be like this. Let's say the market's gonna come here and then here on my AOI, right? And it's gonna revert back and it's gonna give my entry triggers to trade the upside over here, right? So my stop loss is gonna come below the swing low if I'm long and above the swing high if I'm short. So here we're gonna have this long position. Let's say I entered here, so my stop must come before the lows targeting 50% of the previous move. We're gonna get into that later, but it's very straightforward and you don't have to adjust while in the trade. Here we had a pretty rough Friday where silver dropped 30% and gold 10%. So on Monday, gonna be very likely that I'm gonna just watch and see if markets go back to its normal conditions because too much volatility. Uh, yes, and the stop is not based on the monetary amount I'm taking because my risk should be fixed. So my aim is not even to be looking at how much money I'm making or how much money I'm losing, but instead the amount of points I'm making. So this should be like a game. Your aim should be to make points, not money initially, of course. So for risk and positioning, uh, the rules I have for myself is that on maximum I'm gonna have one micro contract per $500 drawdown I'm willing to take. That's maximum. I can take lower if volatility is high, like it was the past week. Of course, the position should be sized before you enter the trade and not after, because your stop loss is going to be defined before you enter the trade. Of course, if you are losing and you're a losing streak, I won't increase my size because that's a very good way of blowing your account. So risk should be fixed or decreased if you are in a losing streak. And if you're in a winning streak, it remains the same. It's fixed. That's your rule. 500 drawdown, 1 micro per. So you can't be overconfident and you can't try to recover money that you lost. You didn't lose. The market just did what it done and it's your fault. So accountability is very important here. So my daily loss rules are going to be that I have 1 hour to lose every day and that's it. I'm not going to risk more than that. Yes, green day or red day doesn't matter. I'm not going to increase my risk or be stupid about it. So here are a little bit long-term guardrails, right? So If I have 3 losing days in a week, you can just stop trading because you're doing something wrong and you need to step away for a while. If you take 2 losses, 2 losing days in a row, the next day you're gonna come with half of your size to prevent your capital, to protect your capital, because that's the most important thing you have to do in trading. After 5 consecutive red days, you need to review your strategy and your journal and see what's going on. If markets have different conditions than you're used to, you need to sit and review. Maybe it's just a losing streak. Could happen. It will happen. But you need to review. And for that, you need to collect data. And we're going to get to this point very soon. So the preparation should be all be done pre-market. You're not going to prepare for the market during the trade. You leave the thinking part for the pre-market. After that, it's just execution. No need to think about it. Yes, you do all the markings before. No new analysis during trades. That's stupid. If I miss to prepare before the market, I simply won't trade because that's a very good way of losing trades. Here it's when I'm not gonna trade during news, during crazy times like yesterday when gold dropped 10% and silver 30%, markets were completely abnormal. If I'm having personal issues and my head's not in the right place to trade, also here is not a good idea to trade because it's gonna lead to bad decisions and no chasing missed entries. If you lost the entry, you lost the entry. There is gonna be a next one. You don't need to FOMO. My journaling rules are gonna be every day I'm gonna trade I'm gonna journal as much data as I can. I have a journal template. I'm gonna show you guys when the time comes. And it's very important that you collect as much data as possible because this is gonna help you so much in your long-term analysis and help you adapt to the markets because that's a very important skill to adapt. And here is just some general thoughts, right? If you have no trades in a day, that's not bad. Just means you followed your plan. It's supposed to be like this. At least you didn't take stupid trades. P&L, I'm not gonna care about this daily. I just gonna by the end of the week take a look at this and see if I can increase my risk for next week, following my rule, of course. And here, yes, the goal is quality over profit. If you take good trades, you're gonna make money in the long term. Consistency is way better than intensity when it comes to trade. So for now, that's it, guys. I'm gonna come over throughout the week, show you how my trading is going, journaling everything with you. And that's my very first video. No scripts, no very basic preparation, but I'm taking the first step. So if you have any feedback or comments or things that you would like to know, please let me know and I'm gonna approach that. Thank you very much. See you next time.